Go! Go, go, go! Go! Help us give a warm welcome to our special guest, John Faber with Hud-son Forest Equipment. John has worked for Hud-son many years in every department that they have, and very knowledgeable about sawmills and forest equipment as he has been around them most of his life. So get your questions ready, and here we go.
Didn't realize that had an echo in it.
Yeah, what's going on? That was like twice.
Yeah.
All right, and Neil, I'm going to have to add you to every scene that we change. So every time we change a scene, I'm going to have to add Neil through the show. So because he lost connection or something there. So stick with us, guys.
Welcome, everybody. Hello.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sawmill and Forestry Roundtable number 21. I don't know what all that echoing is about. StreamYard has changed a whole bunch of stuff on us, and we're just trying to get used to it. So stick with us, and hopefully we'll get this underway and everything will go smooth. Tonight, we'd like to welcome John Faber with Hud-son Forest Equipment.
Howdy, everybody.
John is Hud-son's troubleshooter, quality control, warranty administrator, and the go-to magician when things go south. Is that about right, John?
Yeah, that sums it up pretty good, right?
Mike Spadaro, the general manager, was hoping to be here tonight, and he may join us a little later, and we're hoping he can get here. John is going to tell us about Hud-son's equipment and some of the new mills this year and maybe things coming up in the future. John will take your questions, and believe me, with multiple sawmill ownership, John is very knowledgeable. So, John, if you want to go ahead and take it from here, tell us about Hud-son, and maybe tell us about some of the new mills that they came out with this year.
Well, Hud-son's a home-based company right here in Barneveld, New York. I'm in Boonville, but they started in Barneveld. Started with small family business, took off. Employs a lot of local people right now, building the sawmills right from scratch. All the equipment, firewood processors, splitters, sawmills, you name it. If it's got the Hud-son red paint on it, it's built by us. Pretty much everything. Like any factory, we have to bring in motors by our, from other manufacturers. We don't build those, but everything is usually Vanguard, Briggs & Stratton motors, which are very good. They have a good warranty nationwide, worldwide actually. So if an owner has something wrong with their motor, they can take it to a local Briggs dealer and they can warranty it right there. Hud-son's a pretty outstanding company. That's why I like working for them. Our equipment is simple based. So basically everybody can work on it. If you get one, it's not that hard to fix. And I think that's one of our biggest selling points is it's very easy to work on. You can buy parts locally. You don't have to hunt too much. We like to supply you with parts because ours are OME, standard parts that we use. But they're like belts and things like that, you can buy at your local stores and parts stores.
And I'd like to mention that the Hud-son mills are very welder friendly.
Yeah, if you want to add to it, you can add to it. It's all structural steel, so very simple to weld onto them if you want to put something on it or change it for your own use.
Now, the one thing I'd like to mention is that Hudson Mills are built in the USA and they are built right here in New York.
That's correct.
Every one of their mills are built right here in New York, correct?
Yes. Yep. Everything. We bring in the raw steel right there at the factory and goes through the cut shop down to the weld shop. Welders put it together and on to the paint shop it goes and back up to assembly. And out the door we inspect it, run it, and then we ship it.
Their trailers as well are built right here in New York, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
And your firewood processors as well, right, John?
Firewood processors, the wood splitters. Yep. Yeah. The
You said something about the log loader.
no,
What did you say about that?
we
No?
don't build the log loader.
Okay.
We sell them.
Okay.
like
You
grapples
sell them,
and-
but you don't build them, right?
Right.
Okay.
Those are made by Uniforest. We're the main importer in the United States for Uniforest equipment. We sell a ton of it. It's very good, hard, durable equipment. The skidding
And-
winches, the grapples, the rotators. They built to our standards. Put it that way.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the Uniforest tractor winches out there. That seems to be a real popular product.
It is. It saves so much work. I wish I'd owned one 20 years before I bought mine.
You remember Brett is here. You remember Brett that you told he has a T.A. Smith sawmill?
Yeah.
I'll show the comment there at the bottom of the screen. Can you read that?
Yeah, John, you'll be happy to know that the mat twisting on my belt and the T.A. Smith worked well. Mill worked. Yeah. Simple fix to a big problem for somebody, but
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty simple fix. He brought that mill back to life. He found it sitting in the woods and located the owner, purchased it, and pretty much has got it back up and operating now.
yeah, it's nice to see them old mills come back to life. There's a lot of lost knowledge that nobody even knows anymore. With the old circle sawmills, there's a few guys around that are still keeping it alive. But as they go away, the sawmills go in the dirt like everything else or the junk pile.
Yeah. You have 2 circle mills, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. One's got the top saw, and the other's just a 52-inch straight. That's the Ireland.
And which one do you use the most?
I use the Ireland the most. I don't use the other one much at all, only if I got something really big. That's the one my father and I built when we first started the lumber company up here. So we built that right out of 5 different sawmills. We took the best part of each mill that we had in the junk pile and welded it together and made it work. Sawed millions of feet of lumber on it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I bet you have. You guys got any questions for John about the Hudson equipment or their skidding winches or anything else? Just pop that question right up there.
Yeah, we got conveyors too, hydraulic conveyors, regular drive conveyors. The new hydraulic one's pretty nice because it goes lower profile when you're towing it. So we can ship them on the trucks easier.
The one thing I like about the Oscar line of your mills is all the Oscars are offered with the electric raise and lower on the head, and you can get a drive system for that mill as well, correct?
Yep, any of the Oscars, you can put the power lift on it now. We sell a kit for the 330s. And then there's also a kit we can put onto the 528s, which is the smallest one. And you can also put the set works on if you put the winch on it.
You have
The
to
auto
put the auto feed system on there too before you
Right.
put the set works on, right?
The power feed, yep. You don't
Yeah.
have to, no. You got to put the power lift on it with the winch, with the set works.
But the set works will work without the drive, the feed.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
No, I didn't realize that.
Sure.
So you can actually you can actually buy an Oscar line of their mills, which is a manual mill. And as your business grows, you can actually grow the mill with your business.
Yeah, that's the question I had was, what do you think is the most popular model they'll make?
It's a 336, the Oscar 336. Yeah, that's a durable mill. It always has been. That comes already equipped with the power winch on it, so it's easy to put the set works on it. It's easy to hook up the power feed if you want.
Yeah. Are you limited on length, or is it just how many carriages or tracks you want to buy?
The length, you can buy as many as you want. You can go 70, 80 feet if you want. I actually used the Hud-son mill to cut the tall timber ship mast.
They come with 3 lengths of track, right? The Oscars.
Yeah, that line does. Yep.
And how long a log will they cut with the 3 lengths?
They're 7
17.
foot, 3 7-foot sections, so you get 21 feet total. So you can cut 18 feet.
18 feet.
Yep.
So, I had another question I was going to ask too, and I forgot now.
Yeah. Do y'all offer
Listen.
a 3-phase electric version? Or they're
Yeah,
all
we do. You can buy them. Yep. Just gotta tell us what power you want on it, and we can put the motor on it for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a local guy here. He bought one of Woodmiser's 52-inch slabbing mills. There's always a place for one of them.
Yeah. I was using one today. The Hud-son 52.
Yeah. Diesel.
You guys had one at Bunyan too.
Yep, they had the slabber. That's the light model. I got the Oscar 52. It's got the power feed, the power lift on it. The slabber cuts just as wide, but it's got the hands. It's made for starting out.
They had some
It's
nice
a little bit
walnut
lower, but
slabs
you
cut
can
up
see.
out there.
Pardon?
They had some nice walnut slabs cut out there.
Oh yeah, you can cut just as big with that one as you can the Oscar. You just got to push it by hand. It doesn't have power feed.
Oh,
And it's got the hand crank winch. So crank it up by hand, push it. But it's a much cheaper model to get started with, or if you're just doing a little bit, it's fine.
Better
Is
than
that
chainsaw.
is that the same one they had the Woodson stays, John?
Yeah, the slabber.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big mill.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
I know the slabber will actually cut a 52-inch diameter log, correct?
yep.
As will the Oscar 52.
Correct. Yep. And the distance between the guides is 48 inches. So you can take a 48-inch slab off.
48 inches.
Actually, on my 52, I've taken the guides off and made the cut so I could get the full 52-inch cut. Just go a little bit slower with it, it'll be fine.
You just have to have that big heavy equipment to get it off of there, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You gotta have big,
it's
heavy equipment to get it to there.
Yeah,
Roll it on.
Well, Andy and Paul
4 ton a piece.
Actually experienced you using one of those. Was it the slabber, the Oscar 52 you took over to Andy and Paul's?
The Oscar 52.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've got 8,100 views on that. That's a good video. That was a nice walnut.
yeah, that was a big walnut. We cut that up on the trailer, didn't we, on the heavy duty
Yep.
trailer? Yeah,
Exactly.
we didn't even unload it. We left it right on the trailer.
It was perfect up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good video.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anybody out there got a question for John? Pop it right up there if you got a question about the mills and stuff. Now you have they have sales on their mills quite often, right?
Yeah, we have dealer sales. A lot of them, discontinued models that we're trying to get rid of too.
That's what new old stock, right?
Old stock sales, like that. Some of the dealers have as well. We're kind of sold out at the factory right now
Look, it's kind of weird.
on that kind of stuff. But some of the dealers still have it out there. getting rid of their 2024 stuff for the new year coming, 2026. Anything that had older 24 and 25.
Now you have a double-sided edger.
Yep.
Is that comes with an electric motor or a gas motor, correct?
You can get it electric, yes, sir. Yep. 220 volt, 10 horse. That's
Yeah,
what
we
it
had
happens.
that. We had that on one of the lives showing that, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Yes.
did. That was a gas engine, though.
Yep.
Yeah, you demonstrated that really well on one of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at Hud-son last year.
That's gonna be the next addition to my sawmill stuff as an edger. I don't have one. I've been using my sawmill.
Man, it saves so much time.
I guarantee it does.
I was using mine today again, and I'm like, I got a bunch of short stuff I custom cut. Boy, putting it to an edger just saves so much time and handling. Bending over, picking up all the pieces. You come off that edger, the boards go here, the edgings go there.
All right.
Put it in the pile, and you're done.
Well, part of this month's topic was Made in America. Are you feeling a little resurgence at Hud-son? People want to buy American made?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Absolutely. People love the American made.
Well, it's different all across the country. Everybody's different. But
Yeah, but a lot of it's dictated by the price of it, too, because American made, we all know, is more costly. A little bit. Then they buy that cheap Chinese stuff, and then they get a bad taste in their mouth.
Yep.
That's what kind of, sucks for the small sawmill companies or the big ones. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's hard nowadays even buying parts. You go looking and you're trying to buy an American part, and everything has been taken over by cheap Chinese import.
Right.
And it's frustrating.
It is. We've tried to keep our parts pretty much the same for years. The internal parts of all the sawmills that are standard have been for the same last 20 years, just about.
I really despise taking apart an American-made product, and you got a bearing gone bad, and it says made in China. And we got several bearing manufacturers, the best in the world in America, and we're buying that kind of junk because it's too cheaper.
If you look at bearing prices, if you buy an American-made bearing, you're paying almost 3 to 4 times what you can get it from China for. Yep. And that's why it's like that.
But it lasts 3 to 4 times longer most of the time.
Yeah, they will. Absolutely. Yep.
All right, John, we got a question down there at the bottom.
What was Hudson's biggest failure, and how was that failure corrected? Oh, gosh.
The biggest one, John.
I probably can't answer that because I haven't been there long enough.
They hired him, but they got him trained up good now. So
no, we really haven't had a lot of failures. The biggest failure I would say breaking shafts. And it took a long time to find out. Let's say it's that. Because that was one that was a puzzling thing for everyone, why the shafts were breaking. And took quite a bit of research to come to the bottom of it. But I got to it eventually, and it was all due to pretty much the band wheel belts. You'll get a few that fracture now, but not like it used to be. And if the band wheel belt gets out of round, it's going to break the shaft, or it's going to put excess wear on your mill and beat things up. You're going to break band blades. And you never know you can't really tell that it's doing that. But the biggest thing to look for is vibration.
The engine shaft, the shaft on the engine.
No,
the band wheel shafts.
Band wheel shafts.
Yeah.
On the drive side?
No,
Both
normally
sides.
on the idler side. We have more break on the idler side than the drive side.
I've broken 2 on the idler side.
Yeah.
And that's a big shaft. That's an 1.5 inch shaft, right?
Yeah, but that constant impact where it comes to a high spot on that pulley, that's what causes it. So that's when people call and say the shaft broke. We warranty our shafts and bearings for 6 years. Nobody else in the United States or sawmill companies that offer that I know of. Do you? Anybody know that?
No.
Well, I can attest that you stand behind that you stand behind that warranty too.
Yeah.
Yep. Both sides.
So that's, we know there was a failure there, but we finally got to the bottom of it. And it took a long time to figure it out because I guess nobody looked as close as I was looking at everything.
Yeah.
I got right down to the nitty gritty. I had the steel tested and all the shafting right from the factory up to us. Make sure it wasn't the shafting. And then we start looking from there. We know it ain't the steel, so you start eliminating every step. Finally, I get to the outside belt, and I start looking and watching. And sometimes you can't even see it, but there'll be a high spot. But that was what was causing it, and that came from urethane belts. A lot of urethane belts are great, but if they get hot on one side and you stop the band mill, I think that's what causes it.
Yep.
Knowing the cause is beyond my knowledge, but what causes that shaft to break, I think we got it figured out. And that's because there's either a high or low spot on your band wheel belt.
Are you running a urethane belt standard or the regular?
We used to because we had a good manufacturer. But then when COVID came, they started manufacturing. They put a different recipe in. The urethane belts, I don't even recommend them anymore.
Went back to a regular.
Regular black belt, yep.
Yeah.
B57.
And I've had trouble with those in the past where they spline the joint together and it leave a little hump. That thing, whoop, 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 every time it goes around.
Absolutely. You're running Wood-Mizer, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you'll get it from
you
all
do
the
throw them away, get another one.
Yeah, well, Gates was a great company. They worked great for us for all years and years. And then they started getting that high spot, like you're talking about.
Yep.
So now we use all Goodyear belts.
I would buy a different brand if there's one available, but Gates is kind of the only one that makes a flat belt for a Wood-Mizer.
Yeah, you can try a Goodyear. If you get a chance, go try one, order one. You'll find out it's probably going to be a little bit better. And in the belt world, there's a lot of different grades of belt material. So you can buy a denser belt material in the black belts as well. So if you want to step into that realm, you can do your own homework and go for it. What we recommend is what works best for us. Has been working great for years. We've upgraded to that Goodyear belt. They last very well now.
Yeah, I know on some of these 70s, especially the Europe ones, they don't even run a belt. They run 2 cast iron wheels with a little crown on them.
Right. Yep. And you can do that a lot. That's the way the big mills run. They don't run belts. They run solid steel.
Yeah. That belt makes it a lot more homeowner friendly.
Yeah, because them wheels are heavy.
Yeah.
And when they spin like that, we've tested that. Them band wheels, they spin for 2-3 minutes after you shut the mill down. It's a flywheel.
Yep. Probably gives you a lot of extra low end torque with all that spinning though. As an offset.
Oh yeah, definitely. You get some more torque out of them. Yep.
Maybe that's something y'all offer to the higher end mills one day.
Hey.
Or you're a big 52 slabber, put cast iron wheels on that thing.
Man.
Then your horsepower actually goes up because you've got all that rolling inertia.
Then you got to figure out how to get all that inertia turning first. That's where it comes in the big motors then.
Slow and steady.
See, my 52 now, I got the 23 horse on there. It runs it great. I don't have no problem with that small motor on that mill.
Yeah.
Cut 52 inches wide all day long. It works. Granted, it works, but it's 23 horse. It's bird on gasoline, and it gets the job done.
I run a 25 Kohler Commander for like 10 years. Run all day, hard as you want for 5 gallons of gas.
Yeah. Yeah. I seen a question come up there about how to correct that high spot on the belt. I don't know if anybody else seen it, but
yeah, there it is.
If you find a high spot like that on a urethane belt, change the belt, get rid of it.
Yep.
It's going to cause you're going to break bands. That's what happens.
Same thing on a black belt, right? There's no fixing it. They just weave together.
Yep, you got to look at it. Yeah, there's really no fixing it.
most time you can look around that belt and you'll see a spot where they weaved it together, and if they didn't get it right, there'll be a lump there.
Yeah, right where they vulcanize it back together. Yep.
So right now you're suggesting that Goodyear is the one to go with.
Goodyear has the best belts on the market now. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I went through some pretty rigorous testing with every belt gun manufacturer there is.
Like I say, I've never run a Hud-son. I've run a Wood-mizer.
Right.
The belts we use are flat, unlike an automotive belt that's concave.
Yeah.
Are the Goodyear belts flat that you use?
They're flatter than the gates were, but they got a good grip. They stick above the wheel far enough to grab your band blade good. Yeah. Yeah, you could run that gates on your Wood-mizer.
Yeah.
I'll put $100 bill on it. Throw one on there if you get a chance and try it. You know, if you
I know during COVID, Wood-mizer couldn't get their belt manufacturer was, out. And I went to local auto parts and bought some correct length ones that had the crown on top of them. And I run just a little more blade tension to flatten that crown out, and they worked.
Sure.
But if you over lubricated it, it would slide off.
Yeah, it'll pop off with the over lubrication. Yep.
But I had to run. I had to work.
Yeah. Got to make things happen.
Got to work.
Yeah.
Sawdust buildup. What about sawdust buildup? On what, Brett?
I think he's
On
probably
blades?
talking about on the belt.
Yeah, blades or belts or what?
Right on your band belts, band wheel belts. Sawdust buildup on your band wheel belts. That's caused from a lot of pitch being in the wood. Keep an eye on it. And it ain't going to build up that fast. They shouldn't, unless your sawdust is building up in the guards or, coming back around the wheel. It shouldn't be building up on it. The sawdust should be getting away from your wheel.
You get a little sawdust when you're sawing pine. You get a little sawdust sticking to the belts, but I think the belt flopping it cleans it off pretty good.
It does,
and it seems to stay pretty uniform too.
And the wiper system for the lubrication on pine helps tremendously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's Hud-son's favorite lubrication?
We recommend water, Dawn dish soap, and pine sol. Pretty simple.
Got to. The sawmill manufacturer's got to recommend water and pine sol.
Yeah. Pine sol cuts that pitch. That's what you're after. If it gets real pitch down south, they use a lot of turpentine or kerosene still.
Diesel.
So John,
Diesel.
if you're not cutting pine, then you don't even need the water. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'd recommend water.
Yeah.
I always recommend a little lubrication. Even if you don't need it, it just takes the heat out of your blade.
Takes the heat out of the blade, so you don't get them hot and start tempering your steel and breaking stuff. Yeah. Even if you don't have the soap and pine sol, just put the.
Yeah. If I wasn't sawing pine.
Oh man. That's a current coming on my leg.
But you need.
I hate it when that happens.
Heat.
Huh?
Yeah, Tim went off too.
Nope, I can't sit down yet. Jesus Christ. I'm sure you guys have had them before.
I never had a leg cramp before in my life.
Really?
No.
Quiet.
The most fun was when you're asleep and you straighten your leg out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just the chair or something, probably. I'm stretching and pulling like a bastard for the last couple of days sawing. So.
Yeah, but definitely on that pine, on the pine, that's what I mostly cut. I run diesel fuel. I've run the water and pine saw down here, and you use so much of it, and a lot of times you still have buildup. But the diesel fuel by far takes the lead over everything that I've used down here.
Does it eat your belts up a little bit faster?
It doesn't. No, I don't use. I mean, you need very little. I mean, very, very little.
Okay.
Especially with the wiper system, you don't have it atomized and hitting everything and flying all over. So everything stays dry. Your sawdust don't cake up anywhere. That's that, and on anything.
What What'd you say you were running?
Diesel fuel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got a wiper system.
Mm.
We've been
Yeah, that was
impressed
pretty
with the cotton spindle lube. It's been working well for us.
What is it?
The cotton spindle lube.
Yep.
Oh,
There are
I
good
haven't
things
tried
about
that.
it. It's for people who don't want the, diesel.
Yeah.
And it's so little of diesel fuel, it doesn't affect the wood at all.
No, it doesn't affect
No,
the
no.
woods. One drop every 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So back to that question that we were on there, right there. How do you correct the hind lobe? Nope, that's not it. There you go. The sawdust buildup on your belts. It's just scrape it off every time you change your belts. Every time you change your blade, I mean.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time you change your blade.
Every
So you're
every
supposed to.
sawyer has got a pocket knife, and that's what it's for. To scrape that sawdust
There you
off.
go.
I scrape it right on the mill where the door opens on the mill, and I mean they recommend you're changing that blade from the drive side to the idle side every 8 hours anyway. I change that belt every time I change a blade, and just scrape it off. There's not that much buildup on it every time. It takes
No.
2 seconds to scrape it off.
They say if it's building up like that, it's catching in your guard somewhere. As you got to plug up where the sawdust is coming back around, over the top.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
You got a piece
you
of
got
bark
something-
in there, and it plugged it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you got something wrong if something's building up on there.
Yeah.
Joe, ask away, Joe. If it interests you a lot, just ask away. We're here. Two Guys Timber Framing. You guys still here?
Hello, guys.
Let's see. We got Tim back. Nope,
All right.
maybe.
We got one question here that I'll let the Wood Miser guys answer if they want.
Uh-oh.
I'll pop it right up there.
Most mills I see the head running on 2 rails. Wood Miser at a disadvantage running on 1 rail. He knows the answer to that. He knows the answer to that already.
They've been making them for what, close to 40 years now. Cantilever. It has its own set of issues to work with, but it's just something you get used to. I like it. A double rail, you're limited to the width of those rails. And if you get a bigger log than that, then you will have to work on it to get it down. I've sawed some logs that, man shouldn't even try to saw, but it allows you that option having this side open. If you got a big crotch knot hanging out there 2 feet and you're cutting above it, you just take a cut and you turn that crotch knot up and cut it off. It's all personal preference. I've never run a Hud-son, never run a Baker, I've run a Woodman. So it's what you get used to.
But that's a good explanation, Eric, because I think that's the first time I've seen somebody actually put that into perspective.
Yep, that does work. I did. I used Shelby Stang has got an old Wood Miser down there, and I went down to cut that big cypress. That's exactly what we did there.
You went and worked with Shelby?
Pardon?
You went and worked with Shelby Stanger?
Yeah, I go down there every year, a couple times.
There's got to be a story there to tell.
We got a couple of them.
Yeah, I'm sure it starts with a beer.
No, Shelby don't drink.
Lord have mercy.
No, I drink when I'm down there a little bit after we're done, but no, he don't drink. That's Shelby.
It's Shelby. He don't need nothing extra to be Shelby. Huh?
No, he don't.
Lord have mercy.
He's quite a character, I'll tell you. We get along good. I bring a lot. I got cypress up here in my barn still. I bring it back every time I go down. We go out there and I help pull logs out of the Lake Pontchartrain and put them on the barge, float them up there, and then we'll either saw them or I'll bring logs back whole. One of the two.
He ain't real far from me. A couple hours.
He's got his own Oscar 52 down there now, son. So
Tell Shelby he needs to get on YouTube with the rest of us.
what's that?
Tell Shelby he needs to get on YouTube with the rest of us.
Yeah. He lets you film them when you're there. That's about it. I got some videos I can post. Yeah. That's
Now
all
those
down there.
those cypress they pull out of the lake, are they really that worth that much?
Oh yeah, that's real nice. It's beautiful one. It's all the sapwood's gone off the outside edge. It's got that water wash to it too. So it's got barnacles and stuff growing. It's beautiful.
Lots and lots of colors in that sinker.
Yeah, it depends on where you pull it too, because it'll be different color in one side of the lake or the other, or the rivers or whatever.
Right.
You get the yellow, you get the chocolate, you get the bronze. I've seen it all different colors.
When you're trying to market that, are you making your money selling it local, or are you making better money trying to move it out to different parts of the country?
I don't saw that much of it, so basically everything I bring home, I either make it into furniture, tabletops, chairs, whatever, or I just sell the bar tops, tabletops raw. You know,
Yeah.
I get $30 a board foot.
You know, I'm 4 states away from you in North Carolina, and I have people calling me wanting cypress. And I'm like, you do realize it don't grow here, right?
Yeah.
You got to go out there to Alabama, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Lowland.
It grows in South Carolina, down in the Low Country.
That's nowhere. That's still 6 hours away.
That sinker cypress, that's old wood. You know, that's been dead, laying in the rivers for 100 years or better.
Yeah.
Maybe thousands. Who knows? You know, buried in the mud.
Yeah.
A lot of my family's from Morgan City. Oh, that was a sinker. I mean, one of the cypress capitals, where most of the cypress came from for a long time.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to tell us stories when his grandfather was cutting them down with hand saws and the springboards, and they was logging way back when.
Yeah. There's Mike.
Look who joined us.
How we doing? I made it.
Yeah.
You got an echo, Mike.
If you look at
I think it's acoustics in his room.
the old map,
There's nothing in here.
if you look at the maps of Louisiana from above and Mississippi and that, you Google Maps and zoom in close on the big forest, you see like a wagon wheel ring. And those rings were formed. That's why the bayous are there. They would put a winch in the center of that and then pull the logs from every direction to that winch and then make a channel out to the main river and float them out.
Really?
That's how they pulled them out of the woods. They'd anchor that winch to a great big tree.
They have a landmark that we fly over all the time called the Wagon Wheel down there by north of Venice, Louisiana. And you can see it when you fly over it. You see the center and you see the spokes come out, and then it's round all the way around.
Yeah.
So you can see it's called the Wagon Wheel.
Yeah. A lot of people wouldn't know what that was made from, but
oh yeah.
You look into history a little bit in logging, there's a lot of hard work there, my God.
What did we lose, Craig?
I think so. Well, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Mike. Mike is the general manager of Hud-son Forest Equipment. We were hoping he'd join us here in a little while. Are you in your new studio room?
I am in my new garage.
It has nothing in there, I can tell.
No. I was. I've been working on it all day today. It's empty.
Well,
it probably won't be for long.
No. So this is all boards that I cut up in Maine at the Logger Expo.
It is empty.
That is a bowling alley. That's not a garage.
It's going to be a kid's playroom.
Oh.
I see Joseph's here.
John Faber got me the timber off of his mill to put the stud walls up.
Nice.
And the gable ends.
So, Mike, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do? And
I'll see if I can get you on here. Let me see if I can get you on here first. Hang on a second.
Oh, you're
We'll
going to
put
get him
you
up main
in.
screen.
We'll put him in John's. Yeah, we'll add him in John's spot there. We'll just take out John's spot.
There you
Oh,
go.
there
There
he
you
is.
go. All right, help yourself. You got stage.
All right, so yeah, I'm Mike Spadero. I'm a general manager at Hud-son Forestry Equipment. I've been there 20 years. Seen the company grow quite a bit in 20 years. It's been pretty cool to be part of. A lot of work. Anybody who doesn't know Hud-son, we are right in my hometown in upstate New York, just north of Utica, New York, touching the foothills of the Adirondack Mountain region. So yeah, it's been pretty cool being part of a manufacturing facility in the United States in my hometown. And it's amazing all the people, even in our town sometimes, that don't realize how far the place goes. If anybody, I know, Rick, you've been there.
Yep.
But the place just kind of, you see it on the road, but it just goes back. So some of the locals are like, wow, this place just keeps going. Yeah, it does.
Yep, it sure does. Now, in 20 years, you've been there 20 years. How much has it grown since you've been there?
Well, you've seen the building in the back. They were just putting that up. The building where I guess I'd call it still my main office in the sales building. We were assembling mills in the back of that building when I started. And in the snowmobile shop, that's where our powder coat was.
Okay.
And you guys are all over the country.
Yeah, well, yeah, all over the country. In my younger years at the company as sales and then sales manager, I traveled a lot. I called a lot of locations, tried setting up dealers. I had a lot of wheel time. Take the stuff that we built, bring it over to different places, kind of set some appointments, show some people who wanted to resell our product, and set up dealers. I guess
How many dealers?
took me 7 years to get, but it turned out well now. He's actually our distributor out west in Colorado.
How many dealers off the top of your head?
We're right around 40. Yeah, we've been upwards over 50. We're in the 40 range right now.
Nice.
Now you sell mills overseas as well. I know.
Yes, yep. And I actually had a location that was doing container loads in England. It was called Just Saws. They were out of Haslemere in the UK, which is in England. That was pretty neat getting them set up. A little different rules that they have with the CE certification, and unfortunately, making changes to keep us legal to sell there. Our price kept jacking up, and then our competition was underneath us, so they kind of slowly petered out. But looking to work with some other companies. Already talking to a couple other companies to see if we can get in the overseas market again too. On a more regular basis. We ship anywhere. There's mills in Africa, there's mills in Australia, there's mills in Costa Rica, Chile, you name it.
Yeah, I know one time I was there this year, you were talking to somebody from Africa.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, they were there at the same time you were there. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, this is Eric. Part of our topic this month dealing with Hud-son is buying American made. As a manager, are you having difficulty buying your parts coming in to not only assemble in America, but stick with made in America?
Not too much. We do our best to stay with a lot of American suppliers. There's some local machine shops that we use. There's a local a stamping company that stamps out some of our parts for us. Actually, we use a couple different local machine shops to do some of our machine parts.
That's good.
So we're doing our best to keep that stuff in here where we can. I mean, obviously, some stuff has to come from other countries because the price, nothing's. Price matters a lot. So, but I'm finding it a little bit easier to source locally than in the past. The supply chain's definitely been improving over the last few years.
Well, that's where most of us want to see the country go. Is not only are we buying American made, but what we buy is made in America.
Right.
But there's
Right.
some things that will never come back. Okay, there's some widget spinner crap that we just can't make. It's too cheap. But when it comes to steel, aluminum, bearings, hard parts, we ought to be able to make that in America, and you buy it and put it on your product, and we buy your product, and it's 80-90% made in America.
Right.
That's where
It's I'll be honest, like our American suppliers, it's a lot easier to work with than the overseas suppliers.
Yeah.
You can make changes quicker, availability is better, and communication's better.
Yeah.
I think one of the things about, especially, for people buying in the United States, if you're buying American made, you got to think about the other things. There's availability, there's parts, there's service, there's someone that you can talk to on a phone. A lot of times, I think some of the stuff that's you buy that's not here, yeah, it might be great now. They might have parts now. What happens in 10 years? We got mills that are 20 years old. Somebody calls up, it's still stuff we're using today. We can get the part for them. It's awesome.
Good. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Somebody to stand behind their product. There's nothing worse than buying a new product, whatever it may be. And we was talking about it before you come in. You tear it apart, got a bearing going out, and it says made in somewhere else. When we know there's manufacturers in America that make one that lasts 4 or 5 times longer. Yeah, they got it cheaper, but I'm having to pay to replace it because it just didn't last.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
we got a question to pop up there real quick. I think we personally, if we're cutting dimensional lumber, we roll the log 90 degrees. If we're cutting slabs, we roll it 180 degrees. Everybody else agree with that?
I agree.
Yeah, I would concur to that. Yep.
I changed it up.
Opposite of what Rick said.
Well, it depends on the log. Okay, if the log's nice and round and it's barrel shaped, yeah, turn it up 90 degrees and take the back off. But if it's got a bow in it, I'll normally flip that thing over 180 and I'll get it down to the width that I'm looking to cut, 6, 8, 10. And then I'll stand it back up and shave that bow off all at once instead of having to make 2 or 3 stripes at it because you missed getting enough off of it.
You're absolutely right. I do the same thing.
It's different on every log.
Yeah, and we know every log isn't perfect straight.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
All
I
right,
only saw the perfect ones.
here comes a question for you, Mike. Let's see here.
Leave it alone.
I
I
didn't know
had
you
it
guys
up
were
there.
gunning for me as soon as I got
That's
here.
not me.
I had it up there. Good
We've been
Lord.
waiting on you.
I did my best. I tried.
Any idea
idea
how
how
many
many-
Hud-son mills are in operation? Do you ever worry about market saturation?
I have this conversation with, say, salespeople that come in or dealers that are looking to sell their product. Chainsaws. We started out as a chainsaw shop, and one of the fears was that at some point everybody's going to have a chainsaw. You're not going to sell any more chainsaws. Are you guys still needing a chainsaw at some point in life?
We just buy more expensive chainsaws.
And we make more expensive mills too.
Yeah.
So I would say that the only thing that's changed in the last few years with saturation of the market is when everybody was buying product, everybody was getting stuff. We couldn't deliver. I mean, we got back ordered over a year in some of our mills. So you had other shops that were just popping up and that part. So I would say the only thing that's changed is the competition's greater, not that demand has gone down. The competition has increased. The demand has stayed the same.
Now I can attest. Years ago, I owned a big commercial mill, and then when I decided to get back into sawmilling, I first started looking, and this was in 2018. I started looking for a used band mill, and there just wasn't really anything out there. So if the market was saturated, you'd be able to find mills for sale everywhere.
Right.
I ended up, of course, buying a new mill from a company that was close to me.
Yep. And I love driving. I like taking back roads when I go different places. I like seeing our beautiful country. But as I'm driving, I'm thinking they need a sawmill. They could use a sawmill. This place could use a sawmill. And that's just in New York State.
So you're,
You know, there's
so
so
you're
many
driving
different
around saying,
places.
I would cut that. All that.
Yeah.
But
So that's
they got a
pretty
good question come up there. Are tariffs affecting your supply chain any?
You know, that is something that I haven't been able to figure out yet. That's a game a little bigger than this guy can comprehend sometimes. When they put the tariffs in, I thought it was really going to help take some of the overseas competition down and raise their prices. The prices went down. I don't know how that happens. I think it's maybe because they had so much stock built up, and you know, so they're just discounting their stock and getting it out. But I think with having the tariffs, you know, we've been able to not be so dramatically affected because we source a lot of the stuffs from the U.S. and Canada. So,
How about just the demand though? How about just do more people? I mean, I know COVID was a big time for sawmills, but that tariffs hasn't affected the demand for a sawmill. You know what I mean? Here in the United States, are more people? That's not a thing, is it, or is it? You think?
I don't think the tariffs are affecting the sawmill market. I still think it's the overflow of everybody building the same thing.
Right.
Has affected the sawmill market for everybody. So you got all these newcomers that are trying to do something, all these overseas guys that are, it's hard. I mean, everything you see on the internet is not true.
No way.
So, I mean, you have to really do your research to figure out where something's actually built.
I agree with that.
Now,
100%.
that question you see popped up on the bottom there, Joseph is having a real hard time. He wants to buy a sawmill, but he just can't seem to get his fingers grasped around one. Do you have any great deals that Joseph can get into a sawmill there, Mike?
Well, I guess it depends on what size he's looking for, but yeah, I like to think we have great deals. You know, our sawmill started $2,500 still. That's a put together yourself now. The new Homesteader line is just, we did a home run on that. So that's going to be great. Once it gets out there in more people's hands, I think they're going to be pretty excited to see that. I know, Rick, you got to see it. You're just like, yep, this is a great mill.
Oh Lord, yeah. You can
Actually, Mike, that Homesteader 33 that you guys put together, I was just in awe. That is a great mill for the price. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And we're going to do our best to hold that price, you know, but it's hard to get there. I mean, you know, you know how many people work there. We got quite the crew that we have to have, you know, put food on the table and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to doing our best to hold the price, have something affordable, and have more people have a Hud-son mill. And that new Oscar 528 is just amazing too. I love the improvements our team has done this last couple of years.
Now you have sales on discontinued mills and stuff all the time, correct?
They're pretty much cleaned up now. There's
Are
a
they?
couple more at some dealer locations. That's why I like to ask, anybody looking for a sawmill, where are you at? Everybody likes to call the factory because they think it's the best place to get a mill. That's not necessarily the case. We're stuck with what we're building now. But if you got a dealer in your area that's got something that's a couple years old, there's probably been a price increase. They're discounting it and blowing it out.
So contact a local dealer and see what you can work with first.
Do you have a dealer locator on your website?
Yes, we do. Yep. You put in your
Oh,
zip
that's
code
good.
or whatever, and it'll pepper your map.
There
You
you go.
know. Yeah. And if you look at our dealer locations, and then you look at where the trees are in the United States, if you ever see a forest map, they line up quite well.
Right close by a tree.
Joseph had another question for you. What size log was that $2,500 mill cut?
21-inch diameter. Length is unlimited. You just add on more track.
And if you buy a $2,500 mill, you're going to need a tractor to load that 21-inch log, buddy. Let me go ahead and tell you.
Yeah, nobody realizes.
No.
Yeah.
You're not going to buy a $2,500 tractor.
No.
Okay, Eric.
All right. There's another
Eight and
question up there.
you might.
Time for your sales pitch, Mike.
Oh, I'm just seeing that now on this thing. I mean there's a lot of mills out there. There's a lot of different companies out there. Hud-son, we're known for our simplicity. We're known for our durability. We're known for our service. That is definitely, one thing. Most companies don't even pick up the phone anymore. We're still able to do that. It's getting harder and harder not to have an auto attendant when you call. But that's where we're at. We're not the cheapest anymore in the market. When we first started out, we were probably one of the lower price mills out there, but that was our way getting in. Then you get bigger, that gets harder to do. Then you get overseas markets coming in to beat you up a little bit. But we have a fair price and a great product. And there's good competition out there. That's what makes America go round. That makes us get better. That's why we come up with new ideas and new things.
You mind me throwing in there, Mike?
Huh?
You mind me throwing something in there on that too?
You can go for it. I'm gonna let my dog out of here because
was the bearing on each side of the band wheel. That was one of our biggest sellers for years, where we killed the other companies, because it was made so much tougher and more durable. And plus, we got the 6-year warranty on our bearings and shafts, so nobody can match that.
Yeah, I can attest to that. You're lucky to get a 2-year warranty with any new mill.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talk about main bearings and shafts?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 6-year warranty.
Yeah.
And it's a great design. It's a little bit harder to build compared to some of the other competition out there, but it's a great balanced design.
It's
yeah, that's our thing. That's our H frame.
Yeah.
Who wants to take that one?
What's the easiest way to charge people for sawmilling their lumber while you're still learning?
The fairest way is board foot. If you make a mistake, the customer's not paying for it.
Yeah.
Nope, that's for sure.
You're not going to start out on day one and make money. You're going to start out on day one and learn. And maybe in a few months, you'll be making acceptable lumber that you'd be proud of.
I think I
find you a bunch of projects to build around the house and learn.
They'll just tell anybody, saw your own wood, use
perfect.
your own wood, and if you complain about your own wood, your customer will.
Yep. Build your own sawmill shed with your first cuttings.
And you can learn. And you can also learn. You can also learn by cutting some of that wood and stacking it, and looking at the wood grain and how it dries and how that stuff bows and bends. And you'll learn a lot just from not even using it, but stacking it and letting that stuff dry before you use it also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I have a philosophy that if you're selling lumber to a friend and he's still your friend when you're done, you didn't charge enough.
It's So why am I not buying lumber from you? No.
My policy at the mill is always, if you don't want it, don't put it on your truck.
That's it.
Leave it in the pile.
Yep.
Or throw it off to the side because I'll take care of it.
So I see that question down there. Delivery. I guess with Hud-son Forest equipment, you know, it's a lot of that, to answer that question, is dependent on the location that you're buying it from. You know, we try to have local service. We try to have local dealers. You know, their communication should be pretty good with you to deliver the mill. If it's something that has to ship from Hud-son, typically you order it. If it's coming from a dealer, then the dealer's going to start communicating with you. If it's something that we're shipping, once it's shipped out, you're going to get notification. You're going to get tracking. Once it gets to your local terminal, they're going to call you and set up a delivery time.
John, Mike, either one on that? Who makes your bearings?
We have a couple different suppliers of bearings, and a lot of that depends on price.
Gotcha.
So I'm not really sure how to answer that because there's a lot of different suppliers of bearings.
If you're on a traveling job or anything like that, I always recommend having you a spare set of bearings.
That's like for anything.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's right.
yep.
You know,
Have bearings. Bearings are good.
Well, Rick, there's a good question for you.
What innovations would you like to add to mills? What haven't I added to my mill?
Whatever you can dream up, guys. Whatever you can dream up, you can add to those mills.
Yep.
It's gotten so bad. I'm like, oh, look how well this works. I got to call Mike and tell him.
We appreciate that, and we like the customers' feedback because that helps us. You know, there's a lot of good ideas out there.
One thing I made a joke about it earlier tonight with John, but Hud-son mills are very welder friendly. I use a welder on mine all the time, and not because it's broke, but to add stuff to it.
Referred to as the beast.
Yeah.
I can contest to that.
Mine's a Franken mill.
You should have seen the conglomerate we sawed up today. Oh my God. Only
Yeah,
on a Hud-son.
If you could have seen what we cut up today, Mike, you would have been impressed because it was a tree crotch that had about, what we say, seven
different branches
different
off of
limbs
it
coming out of it.
in
But
one
big
section.
limbs. We're not talking about, it was a silver maple. You know what they look like in people's yards.
Wow.
And there's probably 34 inches conglomerately put together.
Yeah, we had to cut a little bit off of one side to get it through the mill.
Did you guys video it?
Oh yeah.
All right,
Oh, we
so
did it.
we're waiting to see it.
It'll be the video for Wednesday, right, Tim? Wednesday, yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. There's another one for you, Rick. And thanks, Neil. We had another 500 today.
They don't stop, do they?
Nope, they sure do not. Snow.
What did I tell you guys about the steaks, man? I told you. I thought I was nuts.
Another 500 today.
Now, that's another piece of equipment that Hud-son sells is a steak sharpener, and they have a very nice steak sharpener that'll do, what's the biggest to the smallest it'll do?
They do 2.5 down to 1 inch.
2.5 down to 1 inch.
Yeah.
And I looked at their machine and I'm like, boy, that's interesting, but is there really a market in steaks? And John said there is a big market in steaks, and he was not wrong. We started making steaks, and it's just gotten crazy. And once the growing season was over with, we were still getting hit with landscapers and construction people. And now we're getting snowmobile clubs buying steaks from us for signage.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just doesn't end.
Yeah.
I usually get 1 or 2 big orders in the spring just past order was 20,000 for that one farmer.
How do you sharpen yours?
I don't sharpen them. They don't sharpen them. They use them square. They do just fine in the soil that they're in.
Yeah.
In clay?
It's not clay.
Oh, it's
where
not?
they are.
Oh, okay.
It's not too bad.
You won't drive no square peg in this Polk County rig clay.
There's some areas around here an auger has trouble.
Yeah.
Neil, where are you from?
I'm South Mississippi,
Okay.
all the way on the coast.
So you don't have to worry about making stakes for snowmobile trails, huh?
Absolutely not. What's a snowmobile?
Oh, that's funny.
What do you make your stakes out of, Neil? The pine?
I just use pine. That's all they use. They usually get 2 to 3 years seasons out of them. They pull them up every year, bundle them, get them out of the weather, and so you figure they only stay in the ground for a couple months, and they pull them right up and put them out of the weather.
Right. Yeah, there's a huge industry for steaks. It just people don't make. There ain't enough steak makers out there to satisfy it.
One piece of equipment I was talking about the edger earlier. An edger with a bunch of blades on it to run that one slab would sure speed my process up tremendously.
We can sell that to you. We can build you a gang edger. We sold a few of them for that.
Yeah, we do. I got a guy out in Massachusetts that does a lot of stakes. I mean, he's got a stake pointer. He's got an edger, and he made it into a gang saw. Or we helped him make it into a gang saw. He just rips them off the board, and yeah, he's got quite the setup going on.
Oh,
That's his whole business. All he does is stakes.
There you go, Neil.
You gave Rick an idea. Oh, no. No, there we go.
You're going to be busy.
Sorry, Tim.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Yeah, they're a lot easier to handle. You just cut your planks to length.
But our niche is we use hardwood, because we got plenty of maple and stuff up on our property here. And these clubs are like, yeah, we buy the hemlock from the Amish and they snap because they're full of knots. Yeah, that's true, but all of our stakes, we got as little knots as possible. And man, that's a big selling point right there.
And I dig through my pine logs and try to get the best there is as far as no knots, but you do have to coil out a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, I've cut pines big enough because I cut my logs at 16 feet because they want 5-foot stakes. And there's some of them I get 300 stakes out of one. I might have to throw 20 out of one log, and I might have to throw 100 out of another one.
Right.
But I mean, you're still making money out of the log.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we were offering 4 and 6 footers, but we just dropped to 4 foot and just made everything 6 foot now. Some 8 footers.
I couldn't imagine making money off steaks.
That's crazy, isn't it, John?
Falling uphill, doing something people need.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. I just don't know how you can make any money off of it.
A guy told me one time, he said, you create a service and you can make some money.
Well, John, I can tell you right now, we're getting about $4 a board foot.
Yeah.
So that's not bad money.
No, that's good money. Good.
Now, are you gang sawing them on your mill? Basically sawing boards and sanding them up and just taking one inch?
Yep.
5/4. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I do. I cut. Oh, I got a video on it. I cut all mine, stand edges up, cut them all again. Then I'll get the chainsaw and cut them to length, and on the mill, and then stack them.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We don't even cut a square cant. We just slab the log, stand them all the slabs up, and then go through it again.
Yep.
Right.
And then we call the ones out that have bark and stuff on them, and the good ones go on the trailer.
That's right.
After we cut them in half.
Well, that's good that you've generated that market, because now when you're sawing a regular log and you've got maybe a low quality board, instead of throwing it away, you just say that, hey, we're gonna make 20 stickers out of that, or 20.
Well, not even that. Like on the waste on when we're doing making steaks, we have the crafters box, and first 2 cap cuts on there, we'll use that for the crafters box. So there's no waste whatsoever.
Yeah.
If you can't get a You can't find a use for a 1x1 or 1.5x1. You know,
Stickers.
pretty small.
Yeah.
You can make a steak out of it, though. You start making steaks, man. You turn that waste right into nothing, pretty much.
I know.
Just got a little bit of redwood.
It's crazy.
And that's where the edger comes in, and you ain't trying to stand
God,
something with all
that
the
edger.
weight on the edge. You just lay it in there and get what you get out of it.
Yep.
You know,
I just-
the edgers, they're more expensive. You know, it's hard thinking that you got to buy almost the same price as you pay for your sawmill for an edger, depending on what sawmill you got. But they just speed it up. It's amazing. You doubled your production.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've got one over here behind me, and it does help us around the sawmill, especially if you're running 2 or 3 people. It gives 2 people something to do while you're sawing a log.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. If you got a team of people to work with you and you can get them going, that's
every
awesome.
board they make, I don't have to touch. It's a win-win.
Yep.
Absolutely. What's that say? When I start sawing, I'll also be using waste for firewood sales. I burn.
Yeah,
wood
that
here
makes a
in
lot of
Western
sense.
Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
do
sold.
that.
We just sold a bunch today.
We got those too.
We sold 6 truckloads of firewood today, didn't we, Rick?
Yep.
I got a video coming up on here this week, and that's one thing it talks about your flitches. Things you need to know before starting a sawmill operation. That's one of them because they build up fast. And me
they
personally, I got pine,
Yeah.
so I just have a lot of fires. A whole lot of fires.
Bonfire at Neil's house.
Oh man! And it's the
Did you
dry
put this-
season. My pile is so monster right now, but now I gotta wait till we get some rain.
Did you put this question up for Neil?
Yes.
Well, you just got to check your local markets. I mean, your feed stores, your co-ops, and things like that, selling for a certain price. Me, I cut way cheaper than that because most of the orders I get are from bulk orders. Kind of fill out what they're looking for as far as a price and work with them and negotiate and settle on a price. Them tomato steaks or landscaping steaks, you go to just say a box store like Lowe's, them things are outrageous for a 2-foot steak or a 3-foot steak. It's unbelievable the prices
Yes.
of them things.
They are.
So it's really just you got to put your leg work in and dig around and try to find out what they're going for and beat it by just a little bit, and then advertise, whether it's Facebook or however you want to go on that route to do it.
Look at your construction supply companies because surveying on the construction sites, you use tons and tons of stakes.
Yeah, any
That's
of your
when I
surveyors.
realized there was a shortage for stakes, because I was into that, building roads and bridges and fixing buildings and all that. And every survey year you start in the spring, you're trying to find enough stakes for the job, and you got to do 8-10 miles of highway. There's a lot of stakes, let me tell you what.
Yeah, concrete guys, house builders.
Yeah.
I mean,
Foundations,
it's all
yeah.
there.
Believe it or not, these little hardware stores also hitch you up,
Right.
and if you
Absolutely.
do bundles like 25 bundle in a bundle or whatever. Who was it we was talking to, Rick, where we got them doing steaks?
They
were
were
selling-
one of the YouTube channels. I can't remember the name of it.
They were selling bundles to a hardware store.
25
25.
bundles of 25.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. The thing I was thinking, we have a couple snowmobile clubs that's gotten stakes from us here recently, and they got 6-footers. And I'm thinking if we have a winter like we had last year, those signs are going to be pretty low to the ground.
You start cutting them 10 foot, Rick.
I know.
Tell
Rick,
them, Neil, we see about that much snow, maybe.
I get that. Last year was a freak thing down here. It actually, the beaches, the sand were covered in snow, and I'm about 15 miles off the coast. And if you went 10 miles north of me, there was no snow. So it was like on us and over the water. I mean, it was insane how that happened.
Yeah, it was insane for us last year too.
Rick, will you please answer Brett's question there? We were talking about that yesterday.
We started advertising on Facebook Marketplace, and then just word of mouth has taken off.
Yes.
Word of mouth is amazing.
Yeah.
Just happens to be the week we're in, but that's our main advertising right now is word of mouth.
And that was a question that you had answered earlier, Mike, was about the customer service. These days, you go into any kind of store, self checkout, you can't get nobody to help you. Customer service goes a long ways with people, in my opinion. I'll go out of my way to go to somewhere that has someone I can talk to and not just push to the side and you go do your own thing.
Yep.
Yeah, our one of our side, we have a store frontage obviously at our manufacturing, but we sell steel chainsaws and we have a service shop there. There's people that travel all over just to come back to our shop. So it's worth it.
Yes.
Well, that you got
The
that
extra help with people and the extra time.
you got that cool chainsaw museum up there.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's
it's
awesome.
cool working in a place that's been there for a long time. There's a lot of old stuff and cool stuff that's happened over the years.
As many times as we've been in there, every time we go in there, we look, oh man, isn't that cool? Isn't that just so cool?
You wouldn't want to be the one handling them, though, would you?
No.
I'm glad technology's better.
Yeah.
That's why everybody's
all
still buying chainsaws.
Some of those chainsaws up there, I don't know how they did it. I really don't.
They answer their phone.
What's that?
So we all like to deal with a company that you call, like Hud-son, and a real person answers their phone. You don't have to spend 5 minutes trying to get a department. Just, hey, I need Joe in parts. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I run a business. I run a small business. And when you call my number, this is what you get. My cell phone.
Yep.
You don't get an answer service. You don't get my wife. You get me. And I appreciate that out of a big company. I know it's hard to do, but
Yeah, well, we try to screen all the calls.
Thank you, Andy and crew. Be blessed.
Yeah, we try to screen all the calls so we get you to the right department, too. If you need parts, somebody says, I'm calling 4 parts for sawmills, we know to send them there, but it can get confusing when they call for parts and they don't specify when they're looking for a chainsaw part and they get sent up to the sawmill parts department. So.
Yeah.
Once in a while that'll happen, but other than that, we're pretty doggone good on service, I gotta say.
We're human. We make mistakes, and actually, Nicole and I had a mistake the other day. She had a question with a customer, and I answered the question, and then we didn't realize that they were still on the line. But it was during lunchtime. I'm like, "What is that?" And that was her dinner she had last night. We started talking about that. Next thing we know, the customer's still there, and. And actually, John, it was for a warranty. They were actually calling out a warranty, so everybody gets all upset. Like, just give us a chance, So yeah, they came in swinging and they left laughing. I told Nicole, at least we were talking about food and not fighting, so that's good.
Well, everybody's human, and I think if we can relate to a human being, it makes us feel better too.
Yeah.
Brett, I know Brett is new to Facebook. I see you advertising on Facebook.
Your page.
On your page. You have to go to Facebook Marketplace. There's a little thing up there on top that you click. It brings you to Marketplace. You can sell stuff on. It's called Marketplace. Not on your Facebook page. Nobody looks at it.
Yeah, go on to Marketplace. Yep.
I'll send you a screenshot of it when I get a chance here.
Mike, you'll have to answer that question.
Yeah, closest location, from what I can tell without cheating and using the computer that I'm on right now, is Talon Sales. They're in Missouri.
Yeah, Talon.
But if you go to hud-son.com, our website, there's a dealer locator, and they'll tell you who's closest to you.
I can give Joseph an address where he can go get a wood miser if he's sneaky enough and quiet.
Hey Joseph, there's one up north by Rockford in Rockford, Illinois, I think, somewhere up there.
Oh,
By the
okay.
Wisconsin line. And then you got to throw a plug out for Indy because Wood Miser's right there in Indianapolis. That's just a couple hours away too.
Yeah.
Yep, they are.
But yeah, they're not far from us.
Well, I can tell you right now, I've witnessed it that Hudson and Woodmiser are very friendly with each other.
Oh
Yes.
no, there's, that's the thing. I mean, it's people. Why do I own a Kubota tractor? Well, because there's a Kubota dealer 20 miles away. You know what I mean? It's the closest dealer there is. It's just, why do you own a Woodmiser? Well, because there's a dealer, you know what I mean, an hour away.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
ask Andy
I mean-
that question, John.
Ask
Why
Andy that
owns a
question.
Kubota? Because it's
Right.
orange.
Because it's orange.
Yeah.
I can put in on this. One of my good friends, he's been Kubota. He runs the skidding winches that we have. Then all of a sudden he sends me a picture of his new tractor and he goes, I need a bigger skidding winch. And it's green. I go, wait, why did you switch? The only reason he switched is because of his dealer.
Absolutely.
He's staying with his same dealer. They switched and he switched his tractor because he knows he can get service from him.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've been running Husqvarnas for 40 years, and I'm a big Husqvarna guy, and I have absolutely no desire to be a steel guy. Up until last year, I'd told you I'll never run a steel. You know what I mean? I'm a Husqvarna guy. My Husqvarna dealer is gone. The next one that's closest to me is gone. My next dealer is gone. You know what I mean? I'm 45, 50 miles away to get a Husqvarna dealer.
Wow.
And I own a steel chainsaw right now.
I,
They're
I have
15
both.
miles down the road.
I got both. I
I
got
have
about,
several.
I think I got 3 or 4 of each, to be honest
And-
with you.
You got an
And I
addiction.
mean, that's the only reason I own a steel is because the dealer's 15 miles away. I don't want to deal with, even the steel dealer says, well, I'll work on your Husky, but, it's going to take us time to get parts and blah, 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 I'm like,
They don't
just
like
sell
it,
me a steel,
trust me.
How many of each do you have, Neil?
3 or 4 of each.
Oh,
Yep.
that's nothing. Ask Andy how many they have. 20, 21?
No, there's probably not more than 12.
12.
And one Husky.
Most of them came from Hudson.
So you just fill them all up with gas, and when one runs out of gas, just get another one.
Switch to another. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I know at one time you had a shed dedicated to just Saint chainsaws.
They're all hidden away in there.
He's
still
gonna
got the
start the
Muckluck,
modern
right?
museum.
What's that?
He's
You
gonna
still got
start the
that
modern museum, Andy, right?
Modern Museum.
Modern chainsaw museum.
Yeah, Modern Chainsaw Museum.
You
Not
get
as-
you
Not
keep
as good
cor-
as Hudson though. They've got a 2-man McCulloch hanging from the ceiling that I used to be on the end of in the early 70s. My dad had it, and Dutch Elm was going through, and he was cutting elm like crazy for heating the house, and I hated being on the other end of that thing.
I would say.
Yeah, they're a heavy saw to move.
Brett's asking
Cookie
about
business.
cookies.
Oh my gosh.
You guys selling a lot of the cookie cutter holder, Mike?
That's one of the things that's cool about when you bring out a new product. Everybody likes new products. So I don't know if it's just because it's new or history. So I can't really answer if we're selling more or not, or we just needed to do it sooner.
Gotcha.
But it's pretty neat what you can, people are amazing. Like everything that I've done, that's kind of the reason I wanted to cut my own wood, do my own thing. Like my garage is pretty much just because I've heard from what customers have done with our equipment. I'm like, why haven't I done this with our equipment?
I'm building a house with mine.
You
The
got
whole
a
entire house from the ground up.
Yeah. Amen, brother.
you got a cookie cutter too? You sell it for the mill, attaches to the mill?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hudson does. Yeah. We do for our different mills.
28, the 36, and now the 52.
Yeah. We just did
Oh,
one
you
for-
got a 52? Holy crap. I'd hate to see that one.
You know,
What do you make? Cannon wheels out of that one?
you can cut the same width as the mill can cut. I wished I had it this week because I've been cutting cookies all weekend with a 52.
Yeah. It's a niche part. It's a niche market, like,
Yeah.
if you
Right
can
now-
get in, you can get some contacts that want them. And the best part is they're throwaway. So they're going to have to buy them again for the next wedding or whatever they're doing.
I know.
There's a big demand for cookies like steaks. You got to find the right niche.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I cheat because they want like little 6-inch ones.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go out and get a branch with a chainsaw. Zip, 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 zip. There you go.
Yeah.
40 of them. 50 cents a piece, please.
I can't say I've ever cut one.
Those are small.
I know.
Those
That's
are
what I'm saying.
4
Well,
inch.
if you
those
got
are
the
4 inch
36-inch mill, get one of the 36 cookie cutters and put like 3 or 4 across it. Come on. What do you
We
think?
got our own. We don't. We got a jig already.
I know you got a jig. Use it.
We do.
Put 3 or 4.
Crafty people just love them. They eat them up.
Yeah. And I don't know how everybody got into it because they check when they dry. They check. You can't stop them. Period.
Yeah.
So,
You got to sell them green. Sell them quick.
oh yeah. But
Well,
like
I think-
Mike said, they buy them for like weddings or something for table settings, and then they throw them away.
So if you cut the tree when the bark
The
sticks
two I
to
sold
it,
was for a wedding, and I told them I would do them a day or two before they needed them. That way they would stay around and not just shatter.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I've been reading up on how to do that, how to preserve them from checking. And
Yeah.
if they soak them in like a linseed oil
Yeah.
or like a teak oil and it seals the whole wood, then it just stays the same.
Huh.
Yeah,
Won't let 'em dry.
we've been told if you submerge them in mineral oil until it stops bubbling, they won't split.
Yeah.
But I just sell stuff. I don't make stuff.
Yeah, I gotta try that yet myself. I haven't tried it.
I turn trees into logs and logs into boards. And if I have a problem, I talk to you.
Well, that ain't very often, Rick. Once in a while.
It gets to be too much when you're trying to be a furniture builder and a sawmiller at the same time.
Yeah, it does. It can get overwhelming sometimes.
Well, a couple of years ago, when the market kind of slumped a little bit, when people were going back to work from COVID and the free money wasn't there to go buy stuff and try to be a woodworker, we decided to build raised garden beds.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard. You slam 6 boards, 4 boards together in a rectangle and stick it out there. You don't even have to have a bottom in it.
So easy.
Yeah, so easy until people
Yeah.
say, "Oh, can you make 20 of those
Yeah.
for me?"
Yeah. He got us into that one. No more.
We got out of that quickly.
Yeah, real quick.
So I knew that, being that this was a American made, you know what I mean, show, and we wanted to bring the American made thing into there. And I knew somewhere in there was going to be the customer service. You know what I mean? You just can't, you buy a sawmill off Amazon and there's nothing. You know what I mean? You've got to have somewhere to go to get that. And I knew that was going to be part of our American made show. I just knew that was going to come in there. Somewhere was going to be a dealer and where you can find a local dealer. Not just American made stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, very much.
I knew we were going to go there.
Somebody to talk to on the phone.
Yeah, and I mean, when I come to you and I say, "Look, I've had my mill for 20 years and this happens." Now, I don't expect you to say, "Okay, here's your money back." You know what I mean? I'm just looking for you to help me fix it. You know what I mean? And give me some advice on fixing it. I'm a sawyer, not a mechanic, and that's what I'm looking for. I think that goes along hand in hand with the American made, you know what I mean, saying too.
Yeah, a lot of the old mills are being resurrected. I've been taking tons of service calls on mills that are 15, 20 years old. They're buying parts. We still carry them. Pretty much all the same. So I see a lot of resurrecting mills coming back. And I think it's the older generation is dying off, and these mills have been being passed through the families. And that's when, my grandfather owned it. And my father said, let's use this mill. So that's what they're doing. They're learning together.
Right.
And even if you're not making money with a mill, if you have access to trees, they are a very handy tool to have around your place. to be able to construct barns, sheds. Yeah, I mean, the options are endless, but just another handy tool for your I guess homestead.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
freedom. Owning a sawmill is an extra freedom. You know, you're not going to be regulated. You don't have to do the same sizes of boards that you have to get off the box stores. You're 100% in control of what you're building.
Well put. Very well put.
Well put. Yeah.
That's our situation. We have 144 acres, and we have enough firewood to heat our house for the next 5 years. What else do we do with it? And that's when we got interested in the mill.
Yeah. I just built a
I
cattle
think you
fence
guys
with
have
it.
enough firewood to heat the neighborhood for the next 5 years.
We seriously give away firewood to
I know you do.
5
I know you
neighbors.
do.
So.
A lot of it's cherry. I could thump you. Thump, thump.
We don't
Just
burn
build it.
cherry anymore.
Oh, you don't?
What are you doing?
No, we give it away.
So they can get the arsenic? Okay.
So, Mike, is there anything new that you guys are thinking about building coming down the pike that you can share with us? Or
Well, there is some stuff new that's coming down the pipe that I'm super excited for, but I'm not going to share it here. And it's actually exciting because it's new, but it's not actually new, but nobody's doing it. So I can't wait to have that released. New for us has been the improvements on some mills. You know, the Oscar line's taking some improvements, that Homestead line's taking some improvements. We had the new products. A lot of the accessory stuff is new for us. So that's what's pretty neat. You know, instead of doing it our way, if you guys want to try something else, do it a different way, you have more options now. The build your own wood splitter that we're doing, that I think we did. I don't even know. That's been great. That was a great idea. So that's been doing well. So you can get a base model wood splitter and add whatever you want to it for the most part. So I would say the flexibility has been nice to see.
Well, I know you guys
I know
going
you were
to.
calling that there, Rick and Tim, but we're going to leave that one quiet for now.
I know you guys going to have a lot of success with that new HFE line. That is a beast, and I swear to you, people, it is a beast. If it was out when we were first got our mills, we would have got those. I guarantee it.
Yeah. And we got the shingle maker that's coming out to another accessory, so that hasn't been released yet. I wonder where we got
shingle
that
maker.
idea.
Cool.
Shingle?
nice. Yeah, any accessories for these mills are great. I mean, there's so many things that they can do instead of just cut boards, like make shingles and stuff like that. So,
We made improvements on the dogs this past year. It's been great.
Oh, yeah.
Dogs and the tips.
Oh my God, those the wide heads.
We finally
they
got to
are
use them. They
awesome.
were good.
They
oh,
are
they were on
awesome.
that. They were on that night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got home
We
and
were
put them
just-
right on.
We were just talking today because we had a order for a couple of 100 1x8s, but we were doing some flitches, and Rick goes, "Isn't this wonderful? You just slide it over. You don't even have to raise it up anymore and pinch it." I know.
Yeah, you just push it over and it's tight and it's
That's
flat.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Since we don't have an edger, so we have to do that. Yeah.
You guys got to get one. Come on.
No.
Yeah, we got to get one.
No.
The gang saw attachment.
Yeah.
If you have one you want to if you have one that you want a customer to test for you, let us know.
Well, and I'll be a testament also for your guys' debarker. I mean, I've got one of those on the mill too, and that saved my blade more than a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the
not to
chainsaw
mention
department.
not to
Yeah,
mention
I
the
put 'em
stumps
on.
he took down in his yard.
Yeah. No, I saw Dan doing that with the roots. For
That's
the
a great
lawnmower.
idea.
Yeah, that works great. I did it the minute I saw it.
Yeah.
I love it. What's Lucas saying here?
Oh, that's a good question. I can I could tell you right now, because we have a band sharpeners, I can get sometimes 10 sharpenings out of my bands if I'm real light when I'm sharpening them. And that saves a crazy amount of money. You turn a box of 15 into a box of 150, basically.
That's what I usually get: 6, 7, sometimes 8 sharpenings out of a band.
Yeah, we
You
just
guys are a
touch
lot
them.
more gentle than I am.
Yeah, and the homeowner's a lot more gentle than, sending them out to Wood-Mizer,
Yeah.
or sending them out to anybody else. You send them out to somebody else. Wood-Mizer's has got to, or whoever it is, has got to guarantee that they're sharp when they send them back to you. So they've got to grind them. You know what I
Right.
mean? They've got to grind and grind and grind. Where mine, if I go out, I just barely touch mine and get the 10 or 11, sharpenings out of them.
Right.
Just barely touch it. If it's dull, I put it on and it's dull. I lost 3 minutes of my life. That's it. I take it off. You know what I mean? Go back into the shop, get another one, and do it over again. I'm not mad at Wood-Mizer or anybody else who has sharpened my blade. It's my own fault.
I use
And so-
some of y'all might have seen or know of Robert Westfall on for Thomas's channel, and I have done a video on him here. He sharpens blades for me, and he has some of Wood-Mizer stuff. $10 a blade for my size blades. It just comes down to a time thing for me. When you're running 50 blades, you bring him 30, 40 blades at a time. It's a time thing. It's cheaper for me to give him the blades and I continue what I'm doing.
Right. And I hear a lot of people say that all the time, and that's probably fine when you're 30 or 40 years old, but when you're 55, I'm happy for that 10-minute break or 5-minute break to sharpen my
Yeah.
blades.
I was
You know
about
what
to
I mean?
answer that too. He's got kids. He doesn't have time.
I'm still working a full-time job to sawmill and build a house.
Right, and that's great.
Neil,
Youngster.
wait, hold on a minute.
Right.
Hold on a minute. Just hang on a second. Neil, please share with everybody what you do for a living.
Fly around an airplane and look for fish.
He's a pirate looking for treasure.
That's right. That's what I do.
Yeah,
So,
blades,
John,
blades can get expensive, especially when you change mills and you go to a lot bigger mill. Blade prices go way up. Joe Main owes me dinner. I called yesterday and ordered 10 boxes.
ooh,
Yeah.
John Davison. How long does
Yes.
it take you to run one of your blades through? 22 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
So Paul and
that's-
Andy but Paul and Andy got the brand new Pro one. The
Yeah,
same one that we got.
with the high speed.
Yeah, so we went over there and I helped them set it up. What was it, Andy? 5.3 minutes to
No,
sharpen
six.
my blade?
I think between 6 and 7 minutes.
Between 6
Oh
and
my
7
God,
minutes.
that thing flies, John. Zink, zink,
Right.
zink, zink, zink.
Is it setting it too?
What's
No,
that?
it's not setting it.
No,
Not
it's
setting
not
it
setting
this
them, but
week.
Not
But
setting them.
I was so amazed, and Andy and Paul's like, I don't know if we like it. Okay, well, I'll take it.
I run the Wood-Mizer DMS 250, and I can do a 195-inch band in less than 2 minutes.
Good question.
That's
Right.
what Robert runs. He runs. He's got actually 3 of them.
Yeah. I've had people ask me to resharpen. I do for a couple of my local Sawyer friends, but I take on no new customers because I can't make enough money standing over there sharpening blades versus.
Yeah, it's
Right.
tough enough. Yeah.
I only do it because when I switched to cutting my own, I was running LT35, and I was averaging about $20 a resharp by the time I paid to ship it to their Wood-Mizer, paid them to sharpen it, and paid them to ship it back, and then you have 3 or 4 that they would call, and I was within $4 or $5 a price of just buying new ones versus not even shipping them back.
Yep.
But
No.
the question was, how many blades do you need to sharpen to make it cost effective? Well, go price a sharpener. A BMS 250 is going to run you about $2,500. If you sharpen 250 blades, you've paid for it.
Yep.
When I bought my 250 and my setter, we paid for it the first week we sharpened blades because I had over $8,000 blades in inventory, and most of them were dull.
Yeah.
Now, Eric,
Guys, I'm gonna have to sign off here. My computer did a Windows 11 update, and apparently it smoked my battery. I didn't bring my charger out here with me.
well, Mike, we appreciate you coming on and thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Good meeting you, man.
Yeah,
See you, Mike.
appreciate all you guys. So
You-
go American made. I think our country's great.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you win.
Austin.
They
And he
lost. His
died.
battery died.
But
you guys-
I was going to ask him before he left if Hud-son made a sharpener, because I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a sharpener.
Rick has one.
Are you running the CBN wheels?
Yes.
Yes.
But it's a manual sharpener. It doesn't have a cam. It doesn't automatic sharpen as the one I have. The one I have, you have to advance the blade and hit the wheel into the blade yourself.
They can always upgrade. It's hard to beat the automatic sharpener.
Well,
Said it.
I've gotten used to mine to the point to where I can do a blade in about 7 minutes. So, and I got a 168-inch blade.
You guys want to go through and answer this question right here?
Well, I wanted to ask Eric something real quick. You said you sharpen blades for a couple of friends.
Yes.
If they're still your friends, you're not charging enough.
No, I don't. I don't charge them enough. I charge them $10 a blade, and I don't clean bands. First time they bring me a dirty band, I hand it back to them. Say, put that on your mill, run some diesel on it or ATF, and clean it, and bring it back to me. I'm not your mom. I'll clean up your mess. I said, you go look at I got used bands hanging on the wall. I said, go over and look at mine. Every one of mine's clean because I don't take them off my mill like that. If I knock it off and it's dirty, I put it back on, clean it, and then take it off so that I can sharpen a clean band.
All right. So this question that just popped up, I'm going to see, I have to agree with John Davison. When we sharpen our blades, we just barely touch them. You don't have to grind the snot out of them to make them sharp. So therefore, you can sharpen it quite a few times before you have to reset the teeth.
Let me show people a trick.
Well,
Mr. Robert, he cleans for the $10. He built him a wire wheel setup with a piece of wood under the bottom. He runs it through there, cleans all the sawdust and pitch buildup, hand inspects for cracks, and he's and this is what he's a blade sharpener, and he's got a barn full of blades, and but he checks the set, and then his son sharpens them.
Okay.
And he sharpens hundreds and hundreds and hundreds a week.
Here's your tip for all you sawyers out there to sharpen your own blades. Get you a roll of cheap tape and a Sharpie. When I take a band off, if that band is good cutting, it's just dull, I don't put nothing on it. If that band is tiger striping, I've hit something I didn't know it, or I hit something I did know it, I'll write on there nail hit or damaged. And I can repair those, but only if I know it's there. And
Right.
I tell the few guys that I sharpen for, if you've hit something and that blade is not cutting right, you need to label it and let me know, and I'll try to repair it. Because I'm not setting every time, because you're only taking a little bit off the face, and there's no need to reset it.
Correct.
Unless it's out of set. And
Correct.
when it's out of set, it's leaving a tiger stripe, and that's what you want to fix.
Right.
So I hope that helps.
That's a great way to do it.
Yep.
My windows rolled
I
up.
agree. Neil, got you a new sub?
I sure appreciate it. Thank you. Now, hopefully, I'll put out content that helps all and any beginners or advanced sawyers, or any little tips and tricks. I try to put them out there, and I'm sure there's some I don't know yet, but we still learning. I'll share everything that I do know.
And Hudson's got a YouTube page too. You guys are on YouTube,
Yes, they are.
and I know John. I know we're going to talk you into going doing some more of those lives, right? You're going to talk him into. You're going to talk him into doing lives. I mean, I know it's a pain in the butt to just sit there for, a half hour or something and talk on a live, but I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about the podcast?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
I've
podcasts.
Yeah, we got another one coming up here shortly.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. My father always said in the sawmill, he said, if you didn't learn something new in the sawmill every day you worked there, you didn't learn nothing all day.
We had
You
on
learn
wood.
something new every day in the sawmill, and you normally do if you pay attention.
Guest.
Yep.
You'll never know it all. I mean, I've worked my whole life at it, and
What
I
if
still learn every day. You know, if I'm sawing, you're going to see something you didn't see before.
Well, we're all older except for Neil. He's the younger one in the bunch here. I tell you what, I really enjoy about sawmilling that was unexpected, and that's the customers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't enjoy your customers, go find something else to do. Get you a job and go back to work. Dealing with the customers is an enjoyable part in a small community, because I'm seeing customers. Had a nice black man come last week, brought me a bunch of stuff. Got to talk to him. I went to school with his kids. I've never met him, and thoroughly enjoyed meeting the man. He's 83-year-old. That's part of the joy of doing this. Is in a small community, you're meeting your community members.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're feeling the need for them.
You can drive by and say, I sawed all the siding for that house. I sawed the lumber for that barn, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Do a lot of my customers, especially making that V groove and stuff now and all that kind of finished stuff, always ask for pictures when they get done, just so I can see how the product was. And then if anybody ever has any questions, hey, look, well, I cut this right here. And I mean, is this what you're looking for? Because this is what we can do. You know what I mean? That's another selling point, especially if you're advertising. You have you building your trust up, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't show this side of my building much, but you can see this room is a display room of things we do.
I've sold more lumber off these walls and ceilings than you can imagine.
Well, look behind me.
Neil,
And around that siding.
Yes, sir.
Yep. You got to do a little better than juniper. I mean, you could do some eastern red cedar, so it'd smell real nice for Mr. Robert when he goes.
Well, ship me some eastern red. You got some down here. Some.
I got me some juniper. No.
You got
Hey, Neil.
Red cedar.
I saw that. I just had to say something. That was funny.
Hey, Neil.
Yes,
As a father of 6 children, when your kids start saying daddy, 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 look them right in the eye and say, I'm not your daddy. Not your father.
Oh, goodness.
It shuts them up for a little while anyway.
Yeah, just for a second.
Hello,
This
Vic.
younger right here, he don't shut up no matter what.
Speaking of that, if any of y'all watched our little short video we had today, basically just announcing our live stream, Matthew went ahead and let the word out that his wife is pregnant again.
Oh, awesome.
I'm going to have another grandbaby in around
Again?
Yeah.
Another one?
Congrats.
I'll be up to 6 now.
He better go buy him a TV.
Well, I told his wife, I said, y'all figured it out. Just keep having it. She said, no, I'm done. I said, no, you get all the hard work figured out how to make them. I said, just keep making them.
Well, here's the downfall to having a lot of kids. Right now, as it stands, I have 15 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren.
You're just old.
You
live
need
too long.
you need to make some more tomato stage. Christmas is coming up.
That's one of the reasons I run the sawmill.
What you got, Leroy? Hey, you know you live in the South? Your dog comes crawling in with a deer leg bone.
It's that time of year.
It is.
Yeah, my oldest grandson, he shot a 10-pointer a week or so back, and that's probably the leg bone out of it he found.
Go put that back.
You ain't take it in the house. It's going to stay outside, boy.
Yeah, I had I'm kind of a character anyway, but there was one of the dogs that drug home. I think it was probably a femur off of a cow. It was laying in the yard, and the dog's laying there chewing on it. And I had some Jehovah's Witness come by, and I never run them off. I don't run them off. I just talk to them for a minute. But at any rate, one of them looked at it, he goes, "What is that?" And I'm like, "That's the last Jehovah that came up here and didn't respect the dog."
You're bad, Rick. You're bad.
I can't help it. So, John, how do you set the teeth on a circle mill?
You swedge them, you don't set them. I got a hammer and a swedge and just go around and mark the first tooth and go around and swedge it out. Again, it's every tooth for itself, because if you hit something, you normally, when you're going to swedge it, or they're worn back so much from grinding it, you got to swedge it and bring the corners out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
You know what
Go
the
ahead.
best use for a circle saw blade is? Make a sign out of it.
No, I
I
love
got one of
sliding
those.
my circle mill, man. It's so much faster and enjoyable.
That's what Mr. Robert is doing. That got it. Robert Westfall for Triple R. He has actually built a lean-to. Just got it completed on his shop. He bought a circle saw mill that's been left vacant for a while, and he's setting it all back up. Got the real huge edger and all that stuff come with it. He's gonna try to get it up, going and operational.
It's the thing today is you can't find nobody to work with them anymore. It's
There-
labor
my-
intensive.
My neighbor has a big one. Sit in the thing with the AC, the cab, and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And he had passed away, and that mill is just sitting there. And but with that right there, that edger really comes in handy.
Yeah. Is there anybody around that even hammers blades anymore, John?
There's a guy over by, where the hell was he? Over by Sherburne, New York, I think. He was supposed to be teaching an apprentice because he was the last of the hammerers in New York that I knew of. But that's
Yeah.
a lost art.
Yeah, that's
One
a lost art for sure. There's no one around here. That's a couple of circle mills I know personally that still run, and they have to box it up and send it, several states away to get it rehammered.
Yeah, so I sent my last one. I sent it out to Ohio, and we had a couple from Hud-son on our circle brute have to get hammered. We sent them back to Ohio.
And that's they leave a detail in wood that your bandsaws don't.
Yeah,
Some people look for it.
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
they do look for it.
Now my neighbor has a swing blade. I don't know if it's a Lucas or not.
Yeah, it's a swing.
Yes, the circle saw on the carriage, you push it.
oh yeah.
He has one of those, and I thought about getting him to cut my hardwood flooring for the house just to have that old pattern in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a texture you can't get nowhere else. That's it.
Well, Neil, you could do it yourself if you just bend a couple teeth out of whack.
Don't ain't the same, Rick. Don't have that curve to it.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But
I've had people call me and want that off my mill, and I'm like, if I make a board that looks that bad, I throw it away.
yeah,
I saw some for a golf course once for inside their clubhouse. They wanted the rough cut, and when they were looking at the lumber, they seen some leaning against the wall, and we had a piece of hardware with the circle mill, and it made that groove like a bandsaw will too, on the board
right.
tooth. They said that's how they wanted it made, so we had to actually, when we saw that order, we hit the tooth with a hammer to make that mark, so it would be leave that groove in the wood.
So they'd be satisfied.
Yep, give the customer what they want.
There you go.
Even
It costs extra to make it that way.
We didn't
That's
charge
right.
him no more, but it was a good tip for it.
He's already missing 2 teeth because he had rotten. Quit telling him that, you Democrat.
He didn't listen to you there, did he?
I'm telling you, he ain't quiet, and he never sits down. This is the calmest he's been all day.
Mercy.
That's my tractor driver. We at the mill. He keeps my scraps at the burn pile and my fresh logs stacked up on the log deck.
Yep.
That's
That's a good job for him to learn on.
Yep.
Man, he's a tractor. He'll use that tractor like a 4-wheeler. I said, son, you got to turn it off sometime or another.
Yeah. Yeah, I had
yellow-
I had my youngest son dragging logs with the Massey when he was 12 years old. He was dragging logs out of the woods. I was knocking the trees down, plucking them up, and he was dragging the logs down to the mill.
No, this is year number what? Year and a half you've been driving it. So since he was since seven and a half.
No.
I gotta slow him down a little bit. He tore my bush hog up the other day.
Wait until he hops into your plane.
Oh yeah.
I already do that too.
No, good for you.
Oh, man.
Where's Eric, Mr. Matthew?
That's this, Mr. Eric. Where's Matthew?
Where's Matthew?
He caught the stomach bug today, so he's at home.
Oh, he got the bow.
Yeah, he can stay at home. I don't want it.
Oh man.
So John, how many sawmills do you own altogether?
4.
4.
Yeah.
What kind are they?
Well, we got the homemade circle mill. So that's 5. That's the American, the Frick, the Ireland, the bell saw. It had all kinds of parts in that one. And I got the Ireland number 7 mill. That's the circle mill.
I always thought I'd like to try the Edmondson circle mill. They look pretty modern for a circle mill.
Which one?
Edmondson.
Edmondson. Yeah, they're pretty good. Meadows is a good one.
Meadows.
Yeah, they're pretty good rugged mill built today. And then I got the 2 Hud-son Oscars.
Rick, I think we should take a second and to let everybody know what's coming up in the next 2 months.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. For the next 2 months, guys, our special guests in the month of November is going to be Zach from Logrite. He was here once before. He was here once before with us, but we had problems with his internet. He promised he's got good internet now. So we're kind of anxious to get Zach on and talk about the equipment Logrite sells. And then in December, we're going to have Jack Beckwith with us. He is the Northeast manager of Wood-Mizer. Jack is very knowledgeable, and he'll be on with us in December. So all you Wood-Mizer guys want to make sure you put that down in your book and join us in December.
And Neil should be working.
We need one, set right behind each of us before we do the live stream, so we can get them out. I want one of the new ones. Just reach out there, grab a slab with it, pull it.
There you go.
Oh, Pickaroon?
Pickaroon.
Yeah, pickaroos.
Pickaroon.
Oh,
Neil,
I thought. So
You think you can get a Timber King representative to come on?
I can reach out. I sure can, and see what I can do.
That'd be
What
nice.
happened to Craig? Anybody know?
Yes,
I
Craig.
messaged him earlier. He had some unexpected guests.
Unexpected company.
Oh, okay.
So, John, would a Pickaroon help you with the slabs you cut yesterday?
No. No, they were way too heavy, man.
There's a comment that just came up by Antlers and Axes. Y'all see that one?
Okay.
Hang on. Let me get back over there. I was trying to.
I dealt with this a lot this summer, and Eric, you probably have too. In the middle of the summer, especially when I was running V-Groove and stuff, during the rainy part of the season down here, it's near impossible to stop mold. It's going on like growing on there. I came to find out that when I would cut it and want to put it in the kiln within the 24 hours or whatever and get it, especially pine, put it right in the kiln and get that moisture down, because when it's raining and it's hot, I mean, it's near impossible to stop the mold on pine, and because that's what I predominantly cut. You got any other input on that?
Normally, if I'm cutting it for my personal inventory, I will cut it and set it out here in a wide open area in the bright sunlight that gets the most wind. And I'll try not to pack it up close together. I'll stack it 4 high and leave a gap between it and let the breeze blow through, because within that first 7 days, you're going to lose 10 to 15% moisture.
That's right.
And you've got to have that airflow to get it out, because if you don't, you're going to get it mold and mildew.
And not just like you're talking about, not just from board to board in between your stacks, but board to board on the same layer. Space them out even more. Sometimes I give mine 2 inches of space, 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I cut my stickers 40 inches long.
Yeah.
And so I can spread my boards out. I would rather have not so many boards in layer and have them taller than I would have them packed together, because the whole goal is for the moisture to be able to escape in any way possible.
White pine here in the South is the worst. It can mold overnight. One, it's super saturated with water. It's kind of like poplar. It holds a massive amount of water. And I made the mistake one time of cutting some and put it in my shed. Well, all that did was create mold because you didn't have no air flow. I would rather it sit out here on some 8x8 skids and get rained on. And then the rain evaporates and the wind blows, and it's you're still going to get a little, but you can mitigate it.
Almost in the direct sunlight in the middle of the summer, like the rainy, hot part of the season down here. Because I mean, when you're running your outside humidity, I get not aggravated, but jealous of Craig all the time. He's like, man, it's 40% humidity up here. I said, it's 95 down here. It's 100 degrees and 95 to 100% humidity.
Where Craig is, he don't have any air.
It's
let me tell you this. I'm making a video right now on some rainbow poplar I cut for a customer, and it's 3,600 feet. It was a max load in my kiln, and I cut it and put it in the kiln the next day, only because the customer needed it, and I'm ready for him to write his check because I'm going to cut it, dry it, and tongue and groove it. So I stuck it right in the kiln. 3,600 feet. It's been in there 12 days. I've got 350 gallons of water out of it already.
Yeah, it's insane the water that comes out.
And it's still at 20%.
Right.
You know?
Well,
and if you have a worry about checking or anything like that, and if you have a kiln, get your heat down. I have a solar kiln, and I'm gonna have an upcoming video on that. And I had the whole face of it wide open, and man, I was getting so hot in there, it was hard to even keep the moisture down with vents open, the dehumidifier and everything. So I had to get my temperature way down and get that initial bulk moisture out of there.
You only need about 100 degrees in a kiln. When you
That's
first start out at 40% moisture, you're around 95 to 100 degrees. And then you creep up on that temperature as your moisture comes down below. I'm currently at 110 with 20% moisture. And once I get around 12, 15%, the temperature will start creeping up to.
That's right. And that's a big learning curve. You just want to stick it in there, turn it up, and let's get it dried, but you can't.
You do that with pine or poplar, and you'll have a bathtub because all the water will come out in the airstream, and your condenser can't evaporate it, and it'll just go poosh on the floor.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so as a hobbyist and he has no kiln, the next best thing to do is to sticker it, cover it, and get a fan blowing through there. Keep the air moving through there.
Find the winches place on his piece of property and put it there.
And do not stack your lumber close. Give it plenty airspace in between each board on the same layer. Because I only stack my boards 1 inch high, but you leaving that good inch gap in between each board, I feel that lets it breathe a whole lot better. Also,
your humidity is worse than mine. I push mine together and band them tight because I'm more interested in keeping them straight while they're losing that first bit of moisture. Now you could offset that by putting more weight on it, having more stacks. But I haven't had any problem with end to end or edge to edge molding. It's always surface or bottom.
Right, and I don't have any mold issue edge to edge. It's just the center of that bundle.
Well, you're allowed more airflow, which is good.
Yeah, right. You're allow more airflow to go up all the way through around every single board instead of just having to pass right through that one.
Now, one thing he can do that I have seen people do is build a wind wall.
Right.
You know, if your stacks are normally 8 foot long and 3 stacks high, build you a wind wall that width and put you some fans in it and set your stacks of lumber right in front of it and just blow air across it for a week because it's going to lose the bulk of its moisture in that first 7 days. And then you can go set it somewhere else and let it finish air drying.
even if you can afford to go buy a barn fan really moves a lot of air.
That my neighbor, he cuts wood also, and he puts fans on his, and his steel mold. Just the humidity is so outrageously high here. I mean, you can't even stinking dry clothes down here, and when it's at its peak time. I mean, 100. You're looking at 100% humidity. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
And then it's raining every couple days. It rains every day for almost 2 months down here. Just even if it's a drizzle, I mean, it just adds that much to the ground evaporating moisture. It's just surrounded by moisture.
I do the same thing in the summertime. I hate to run my over temperature vent on my kiln because if I get over temperature, I dump out 50% moisture air because it's too hot, and I suck in 100% moisture air that's cool.
Right. That's right. That's right. That's right. It's a learning curve, especially down here. I mean, just you might go several hundred miles north, and it's way different. Like you're not super far from me, but
yeah,
and you live on the coast pretty much.
Well, here in the Western North Carolina, we just have high humidity during the summer,
Right.
and no wind. Now, as soon as it gets cold, the wind will start blowing. It blow up, your shirt tail, and you freeze to death. But you can't buy a breeze in the summertime.
Yeah.
Well, when you live where we live, we can freeze dry ours in the wintertime.
It does too.
Yeah.
I know. They laugh.
What's the moisture content? Cold.
Yeah.
Craig was cutting that wood out of that log that day and put that moisture scale right off the top of the log, and it was like 12% or 7%, something crazy. And I laid mine. I was cutting at the same time. I laid it on there. Mine, I got a lignum mat. I laid it on there. It said 65. It's like, come on, man.
65. Oh.
I've cut some poplar. It was cutting boards, and for whatever reason, I ended up with a couple 2x4s, and I just stood them in the corner because I didn't want to waste them as real good boards. Got done sawing, and I said, "Where's all that water?" Them 2x4s that just run water right out in the floor like a garden hose.
One rule of thumb, a lot of the sawyers down here will go by. You get a yellow pine, of course, that's what we got. Sit it over there. When that bark, I always call it bleeding the log. You let a lot of your sap come out of your ends, and then you lose a little moisture from that, but you let the bark start slipping. And when that bark starts slipping off, that's when they say it's ready to cut. And that's what it kind of. I've cut it straight. I've cut them down and cut it, but man, the pitch is so crazy.
I've been cutting a bunch here lately that we bought in the spring for inventory, and went through and sawed a lot of big logs up. Now I'm down to what'll cut 6 and 8 inch boards, so we're just trying to get rid of them. And like I say, they've all slipped the bark. There's very little to no pitch in them because it's worked its way out.
That's right.
As long as they don't dry out, mine stayed wet because they're up against a dirt bank. As long as they don't dry out brittle, they're easy to saw.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, our pine is a very distinctive way to find out when you need to get it cut is when you can hear the beetles crunching inside it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have that from day one when they hit the ground. Here, and I've learned too with pine, the tighter your wood grain is, the longer that log will stay good. Because I've had the ones I'm still cutting now, they got dropped off in the spring. Yep. And it was 9 18-wheeler loads, and I still probably got 4 of them left. Of course, some of them is going to be coals. They're the smaller trees. They're going to go bad faster. They're going to fill up with bugs. But letting that pine sit over time also adds a lot of bluing into that wood. And some people don't like it, but it is a niche thing to where you can charge more for that because only time puts that bluing in there. I think it's beautiful.
I've sold a mountain of wormy white pine.
That's right.
Let it sit out there, and the worms just eat it up, and then cut it into 1-bys and make tongue and groove out of it. And it looks like a cheap cypress, just full of wormholes.
I had a guy. I showed him that blued pine. He was going to get poplar, and he wanted that blued pine way over that poplar. He was like, "Man, I ain't ever seen that before."
Let's see here.
So it's beetle kill, blue stain, knotty white pine.
Yes, sir.
No, it's not. It's not buggy pine. It's not blue pine. It's beetle killed, blue stained, knotty white pine. Otherwise known as shit for building lumber.
But it's
know,
pretty.
But the
Yeah.
them yellow pines, you get them, and they're not bad at all.
See that?
They're nice. Yeah.
That
Yep.
is purple. That's what's in the kiln. It is purple poplar. Some of the, it's this color or darker than this. It's purple. There'll be a video on that. It's some of the prettiest poplar I've ever seen. I'm sawing it here in Western North Carolina. I'm going to cut it right and nickel gap it, and it's going to the customer's cabin in Kentucky.
That's mineral staining, Eric, from where it
Yes.
grows.
Yep. You can't predict it. It just iron deposits or something in the ground that comes up through the water source causes that. You can get it from brown to black, rose color, but that's the prettiest purple I've ever seen. Most time it goes purple, it'll go black.
Yeah.
Neil,
I had some
Down
purple walnut I sold a couple years ago. And normally walnut, even if you get the purple in it, it comes out brown after you kiln dried it.
Yeah.
But this purple held right through the kiln, you know,
Wow.
when it came out. And that was the first purple I've seen. First purple that the other guy had ever seen. And I sold it for some pretty good money.
All right, guys.
So it'll
we
happen.
Past that 10 o'clock hour. What do you think?
I think we had
I
a good
think-
show.
John,
I think you're
appreciate
good.
you coming, brother. Enjoyed the good info.
yeah, John, thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
anytime.
Good meeting you.
Yeah.
Just
Pleasure
stick
meeting
around. Just stick around for a minute, John, when we shut it down.
Okay.
And,
All right.
you
Well,
know, let
everybody-
us know on YouTube when that podcast is coming out. You know, you got to hit that notification bell on your channel, you know.
Yeah.
He's not in charge of that.
I know, he needs to be.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah, why don't you mention our guest for the next 2 months real quick again?
All right. The next month, our guest is going to be Zach with Logrite. They're going to talk about the equipment and the tools that they sell. And then in December, it's going to be Jack Beckner. He is the district manager for the Northeast of Woodmiser. He will be with us in December. So set your calendars, guys. You don't want to miss those shows. All right. We appreciate everybody that's come here and asked questions and interacted with us. And we appreciate everybody that showed up. And next month, third Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we will see you again.
See you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
night, everybody.
Good
Good,
night.
everybody.
We want to thank everybody for stopping by the show tonight. And remember, it's the third Saturday of every month that we all gather and on the show. See you later, guys.